Welcome back everybody. So okay, along with the big news that dropped about David Benioff and DB Weiss of Game of Thrones fame being hired to helm a new batch of Star Wars movies, Bob Iger, the CEO of Disney, announced that there are multiple Star Wars TV shows in the works as well. Star Wars overload coming our way. So let's take a look at an article over at StarWarsNewsNet.com, link down below in the description, and then I'll share some of my thoughts afterwards. As if today's big reveal about the Game of Thrones showrunners looking to work on a new series of Star Wars films wasn't enough, Disney CEO Bob Iger has just confirmed that multiple shows based on the Star Wars franchise will be coming exclusively to their new streaming service. Disney is holding its usual first quarter conference call, and with it comes another big surprise, as Disney CEO Bob Iger has revealed that a handful of Star Wars shows are being developed for the service. So here's a tweet from Ben Fritz, who's a journalist at the Wall Street Journal. You know, the guys that tried to take PewDiePie down, which ushered in the apocalypse for YouTubers. Thanks, Wall Street Journal. Ben Fritz says, Disney is developing not just one, but a few Star Wars series for next year's Disney SVOD service, says Bob Iger. The level of talent will be rather significant. SVOD stands for Subscription Video on Demand. Clayton Sandell is an American journalist and ABC News correspondent. He tweets, just in, Disney chairman and CEO Robert Iger says there are not just one, but a few Star Wars series in development for the small screen. It should be clarified that these are shows and not movies, meaning that there currently aren't plans to make direct-to-streaming movies for the service. But this is certainly great news. We already knew that a live-action television series was in development for the streaming service, but this presumably means that we'll be getting another animated series along the way, likely even more than one. Between the ongoing acquisition of Fox's assets and the sheer amount of content that's being developed, it's becoming clear that Disney is about to become a force to be reckoned with when it comes to the realm of streaming. Netflix and Amazon, watch out. So okay, many shows coming our way. So why multiple shows, you might be asking? It's because of money, Bastion. Yes, it is. But to get money, you have to lure in different demographics and age groups. So this was already known. Star Wars Rebels is about to end, and Dave Filoni and his crew have been working on a replacement show. This of course is directed towards children and teenagers, but it hasn't stopped us adults watching either, and parents that love Star Wars sit down with their children and it becomes a family affair. So that's one category there. How about late teens, young adults? Well, you probably want a show with some romantic themes, right? It's why Reylo seems to be such a popular concept with so many fans. People want to see a good romance, and if it takes place in the Star Wars universe, even better. I know some of you are rolling your eyes right now and just threw up in your mouth a little bit. But different folks, different strokes. That's how the saying goes, right? I think. And then there's the category who want mature content. You know, dark, gritty stuff. That's me. So Disney might do a show with those themes as well. Maybe George Lucas's planned Star Wars Underworld TV series gets made, or at the very least they use some of those ideas. If I remember correctly, the show was supposed to follow the Underworld elements on Coruscant, crime bosses, mercenaries, bounty hunters, the scum of a planet with over 1 trillion citizens. Some people thought it might be like The Sopranos, but in space and with aliens. So those are 3 categories I think that they'll try to cover, and hence why they're letting us know multiple shows are on the way. Another thing to consider with their new streaming service is if Disney wants to compete with Netflix and Amazon, they need good content all year round. So what I think will happen is they will space the shows out. You release them periodically. You have a show in the fall, then one during winter, spring, summer, all year round, and that's how you hook the audience in to pay for your streaming service. It's economics 101. Here's all this content, we have everything for everyone, no matter who you are or what your age bracket is. Now that's the goal, of course, that's what they'll be aiming for. Whether they pull it off or not, it's an entirely different question though. So what would I like to see? How about they explain where the hell did Snoke come from and how the First Order managed to become as powerful as they did after being on the brink of being wiped out after Palpatine's fall. Now, this new animated show might take place in between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. We could even have Mark Hamill voice Luke Skywalker. The show could follow Luke around, introduce Snoke, and fill out the backstory for the sequel trilogy. We know that Snoke had at least one more apprentice besides Kylo Ren. Maybe he could be a focal point of the show as well. How about a show focusing on the Knights of Ren and what their deal is? Where did they come from? Why did Ben Solo decide to become a Knight of Ren rather than a Sith like his grandfather? There's the Old Republic era, of course. I think that would be better suited as a live action series. The Yuuzhan Vong invasion or something similar. Jedi academies, Sith brotherhoods, bounty hunters, I mean the list can go on and on. New concepts and stories that none of us have even considered. There are heaps of talented creative people out there that can add to the Star Wars mythos. But just like any bubble, will it eventually burst? Will it just be too much Star Wars and people will end up becoming jaded and lose interest? Well, the Marvel Cinematic Universe seems to be doing just fine, and there's been like a quadrillion movies released from that franchise. If it's quality entertainment, it should be fine. And look at how the big Star Wars channels are doing. People keep coming back every day wanting more and more content. It's an integral part of life for many of them. Now, if I went back to when I was a child and there was this much Star Wars content then, I think my head would have exploded from the sheer joy of it. So you younger folks sure are being pampered. With so much Star Wars content, there's going to be hits and misses. Not everybody is going to be into all of it. And that's only natural, but I hope that all the fans get something they will enjoy. Anyways, thanks for dropping by, peoples. Leave your thoughts down below. What do you think would be a good idea for a show? If you're new here and you haven't already, that notification bell looks lonely there. Give it a click. And don't forget to like, share, sub and all of that good stuff. And until next time, see yas.